This is the Padres POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Gries, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give me a follow, make you holla, but you're going to be hollering some things you probably don't want to holler. Tonight, you see behind me another bad start. That would be the pitching, and that would be not so nasty. Nestor Cortes tonight. Some questionable decision-making from the bench again, and I don't want to be that guy, but I'm becoming that guy. But, you know, you keep feeding me ammo, and it's like just lob them softballs right into me, Shilty, and I'm going to smash them over the fence every time. But, look, it's not anything I take joy in. I think they could have won this game tonight. I think Nestor Cortes put them in another bad spot like most of their starters have been doing lately. And then they rely on Nick Pivetta to reverse the losing streak, which he's 8-2, and the team's 10-3 in his starts after a loss. So we have a lot to unpack tonight. Fourth inning, 4 runs for the Twins. Jake Cronenworth with a god-awful error on a surefire, easy double play ball. 5 hold'em, hockey term. They're playing in Minnesota. And, yeah, it is what it is, man. You lose this one. Very tough one to start the series in Minnesota. Dodgers down 3-zip late. Last time I checked to the D-bag, so thank you, AZ. But still, no reason why with the Dodgers maybe losing, you wouldn't win this game and leaving a ton of guys on base. How long is Manny going to be stuck on 999 hits in a Padre uniform? So many things to unpack from this game. I'm here for you. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. I'm live on YouTube right after the games. Then we upload, you download. Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, Roku. You down with OTT? Yeah, you know me. And we're free on all those platforms. Thank you for making us your first watch or listen every day. It's Padres POSTCAST. 7-4 Twinkies. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Let's roll.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, here we go. The Minnesota Twins taking advantage of a terrible fourth inning from the Padres. Chaos, bedlam, pandemonium everywhere, right? An ejection of Nestor Cortes, who was coming out of the game anyway. You know what I'm saying? He was coming out anyway. So regardless of whether Mike Shildt Mike Shildt was coming out to the mound to take him out, and he decided to really get lippy with the umpire at that moment and gets tossed. I mean, look, it happened. He's frustrated with the strike zone. It was pin tight all night long, and then all of a sudden it got wider a little bit late. So nasty Nestor, not so nasty. We'll give you his numbers, his line in a moment. Look, I mean, a walk to Austin Martin. That's a great name. If my last name was Martin, I'd definitely name my kid Austin. I think that's great. Austin Martin, get it, Austin Martin. Anyway, Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire who's already gotten too much publicity on the show, walks up to the mound to break up a visit. It's the infielders talking to Nestor. And, yeah, they waited as long as they could. He breaks it up. Then Shildt waits to come out because he's given his reliever more time to warm up. In this case, Wandy Peralta inherited the runners, and then Cronenworth just lets them all come in. You know, Shildt after the game defends Cronenworth, of course. He's been as good a defender as we've had all year, and whatever you feel about that, he always has his players' backs, and I got to give Mike Shildt that. I'm not saying he's a bad manager. There's just so many possibilities every night in the game. I was talking to Javier Reyes. A little shout-out to Locked On Padres podcast here on the same channels, all of them. So a sub for him, like for him, comment, any of those things for all of us. Rising tide, all boats. You know what I'm saying? It's San Diego's tide. But so anyway, we were texting back and forth, and I'm like, man, there's just a myriad of possibilities. Every at-bat, every pitch, you could do so many things. The moves you make, the moves you don't make. Sometimes you live a charmed life like Bob Brenly did in 2001. I used to say it all the time. Bob Brainley kept managing to get real lucky. I was doing a radio show in Arizona at the time, and let's just say the Diamondbackens, as I called them that year, ended up winning the World Series. But Brenly made a bunch of questionable moves all year long and just kept getting lucky. They kept working out. Even when he kept running Byung-Hyun Kim out there in the World Series, they still found a way to win. Anyway, sometimes it works out. Hasn't been working out lately for Mike Shildt, and everything's magnified. Why? Because the starting pitching has been atrocious, okay? First of all, they walked, 9 hitters tonight? Ridiculous. Maybe 7 or 9. Doesn't even matter. It's ridiculous. Free passes. Cortes, one of 2 base runners to start the fourth inning, reached by walk. The other was a hit. He lets the first 2 guys on. Boom, an easy double play ball, misplayed, and you see what happens. The floodgates open, they're unearned runs, and it is what it is. But Cortes, believe me, nobody's victim in this game tonight. So Minnesota added a pair in the 5th. Royce Lewis with a solo homer. San Diego chipping away. In the 7th inning, they get a 2-run single by Fernando Tatis Jr. It makes it 7-4. But the 8th inning, a breeze for the Twins. And then Luis Arraez in the 7th, by the way, I forgot to mention this, hits a bullet right at the second baseman who doubles Fernando off first right after Fernando drove in those runs with the RBI single. Also in that inning, Mike Schilt pinch hits for Freddie Fermin with Will Wagner. The kid's like a 220 hitter, no homers, 7 RBIs. It's the second time he's made this move to pinch hit Wagner for Fermin in the last few games, and I don't understand it. It's the top of the 7th inning. You got the bases loaded with nobody out. Fermin's a good contact hitter. You can do all sorts of things there, and he decides to pinch hit with Will Wagner. And, of course, hey, if these things work out, it's great, but it didn't. He popped it up. And what do you not want to do? 2 things with the bases loaded. Pop quiz, Padres postcasters. What do you not want to do? 2 things with the bases loaded. You don't want to strike out. You don't want to pop up, right? And, of course, he pops up. And so there you go. Really nothing super, complicated about the way things went in this game. Bases loaded, nobody out. You put a kid up there with no homers and 7 RBIs. And then you say, hey, it's because he has a better chance to slash. Really? Because he's slashed 0 and 7, right? And you're like, yeah, I just don't understand. And, Javi's got his thoughts day by day. Watch the podcast for his, and I have mine after the games. But an easy play, Kody Clemens hit the ball. It skips through his legs, and you cannot let the ball go through your legs as an infielder. Everybody knows that from the first time you ever touch a glove, and it is what it is, right? So you blow this one, and injury to insult. Xander Bogaerts goes to the IL. He's got a fractured foot, fouled a ball off it in Seattle the other day, so he joins Jackson Merrill. 3rd time on the IL for Merrill. Bogaerts out now. He's been playing great at short. He's been hitting the ball, and that's a big blow, right? You've had so many injuries this year. Arraez, Cronenworth. I don't need to go through it. You haven't gotten any slashing or slugging from Fernando. Manny's been ice cold lately. Merrill's out, and the manager until recently wasn't using some of the new guys correctly, like O'Hearn, for example. And so it's taken some time, and it is what it is, but they're getting there. And the only thing right now, even with all the injuries and all the stuff that's been going on, they're still getting there. But big problem here, guys, girls, and everyone in between is, I'll tell you this, the big problem, starting pitching's not giving you anything. Darvish was terrible his last time out. Cease terrible his last time out. And Darvish gave up a 3-run homer to Geno Suarez. Everybody's hitting him off everybody. But still, didn't give you a good start, didn't get you anywhere innings-wise in that game. Cease, same thing last time out. And, of course, Cortes was great last time out, but not so great this time, right? And same thing with J.P. Sears. You're not getting any consistency from your starting pitching. They're not eating any innings at all. The bullpen's overtaxed. Every move he's making seems like the wrong one at the time. And easy for a guy like me to sit up here with my bald head and second guess. Meanwhile, while you're here, the audience is surging. Please smash that subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we're coming your way with more content, postcast and podcast with Javier Reyes day by day. And, of course, you can come on in and talk, comments, the live chat during the show. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, 7-4. The Twins with the win tonight. Before we hit the break, we got one thing to get to, and I pretty much just talked about it. But, we're in the pain business when they lose, so we got to do it again.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Pretty obvious where the turning point came in this one. It was the start of the 4th inning. And, you're looking at the time. It's the bottom of the 4th inning, not the top. In the top, you actually got an RBI single from Jose Iglesias, who I really like. I've always felt like he should be the rotator going through, playing third, short, second, giving those guys a DH day. And obviously a really good shortstop. While Xander's out, he puts the bat on the ball too. Heads up, smart player. I like Iglesias. He's not going to set the world on fire, but I like him. Anyway, he drove in a run that gave the Padres a 2-1 lead. And here's how it goes down from there. The Twins obviously come in off the field there. They go in the dugout, or they get ready to hit in the bottom of the 4th, right? So Nestor Cortes at that point had allowed 1 run in 3 innings, and it was, in the bottom of the 3rd. It was a Clemens single, and another single after that put him to third base, and then a fielder's choice to short to Iglesias off the bat of Buxton gives the Twins the tie, right? So it's 1-1 there, and then Iglesias, and the Padres had scored, by the way, on a Luis Arraez sacrifice fly in the 1st inning, the former Twin. They did a video tribute for him. Pretty dope for Luis, but he hits the sac fly to drive in the 1st run. Anyway, Iglesias makes it 2-1. 4th inning comes, bottom of the 4th for the Twinkies. Cortes on the mound, Wallner singles, and he steals second, and then Martin walks. Martin, he walks, okay? Austin Martin. So a single, a stolen base, and a walk, okay? First and second, nobody out. The walks always come back to kill you, do they not? They always come back to kill you. So then what happens? Nestor Cortes, the infielders all come in. Manny from third, Arraez from first, Iglesias from short, Cronenworth from second. They all come in. They stay there as long as they possibly can until the ump, Manny Fernandez, goes out to break it up, right? Manny Fernandez, whatever, goes out to break it up. As soon as he does that, Schilt's on the top step, ready to come get Nestor anyway. So Nestor's like, the hell with it. I'm going to get my 2 cents in here, gets himself tossed. He was done anyway. 3 innings for Nestor, a trash stat line, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, give you nothing tonight. And this is a guy who you really thought you could count on or wanted to count on, gave you nothing. So anyway, you get Wandy Peralta comes into the game. Lewis singles to left, Martin to second, Wallner to third. You got bases loaded, nobody out, right? And of course, you got the middle infielders at double play depth. And then after that, you got to bring them in. And I'll tell you what happened there in a minute. But a fielder's choice off the bat of Clemens to second goes through the wickets on Cronenworth. Wallner scores. Lewis goes to second. Martin scores as well. And then Lewis ends up on third, Clemens on second. So you look at those 2 runs that score on that play, obviously, right? And then, Buxton grounds into a fielder's choice. And then Morgan comes in and they get out of the jam. But nothing was set until then. And, you just look at it and you go, okay, well, man, Cronenworth just killed him there. Because you got to figure bases loaded, nobody out, double play ball. You give up a run there. It's 2-2. And then they get the base hit after that, which might have scored one more. At worst, you're down 3-2. Jake killed him there. Killed him. Absolutely killed him in that spot. Along with Nestor. It's 50-50 in that spot between Nestor Cortes and Jake Cronenworth because the runners have to be there for unearned runs to take place from an error. So Jake makes a boneheaded play, goes through his legs. It happens. It's a mistake, right? And, Schilt said after the game he's one of our best defenders, and I'm just going to keep playing him there, even though Arraez should be playing second and Ahern should be playing. But Schilt didn't say that. Of course, I say it every night. So there you have it. That is your turning point of the game, and I am running a little long, so I'm going to take a little break here. I'm not going anywhere. Neither are you, we hope. Keep on sticking around. More Padres postcast on the other side, the player of the game. On the other side, more about Pivetta power and what Nick Pivetta can do to get this thing back on track. And obviously, the Padres really hurting right now. More on the Bogarts injury and what they might do day to day now with Merrill and Bogey on the shelf. It's Padres postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 7-4 Twins in the opener. And I get to tell you about Upside. I mean, with a name like that, come on, right? Are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upscale app. Did I say free? I said free. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today with Upside. Use my limited time promo code SEASON, SEASON, and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make it up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upscale app now using my limited time promo code SEASON, SEASON, for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's a quarter a gallon. Promo code is SEASON. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table, and you don't want to do that. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you put off optimizing and organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet, which is huge for me. I can tell that I'm definitely not saving as much as I thought I was or wanted to. Monarch helps me notice insufficient investment allocations and discover forgotten 401ks from past jobs, and I can increase my savings rate, easily review finances with a partner and or financial advisor for that matter, keep a clear view of my financial health, yours as well, week to week and long term, etc. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONMLB at Monarch Money on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, yours every day. And Minga, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say it. It's just a tough one. Xander Bogaerts goes to the IL. Now, let me pull this up real quick as we continue with your Padres postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, free on YouTube right after the game. And then that's live. That's the face. That's the whole shebang right there, you know, with me, Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. And then after the live YouTube show where you can subscribe, you can hit the bell so you get alerted when we come your way with the show and with Locked On Padres podcast day to day with Javier Reyes. And of course, we are free on all the audio platforms. After the YouTube show, we upload, you download Apple, iHeart, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and of course, Roku. You down with OPP? No, silly, I'm 53. It's OTT, over-the-top television. I can never get enough of that. I don't know why I keep laughing at this every single time, because the managerial moves of Mike Shildt and the Padres starting rotation are slowly starting to kill me. I don't know about you. Dodgers score in a second, by the way. Remind me if I forget. Actually, let me get in here right now with that Dodgers score. And Bogaerts fouled the ball off his left foot on Wednesday in Seattle. And 10-day injured list with a non-displaced fracture. The Padres are confident that he'll play again this season, but again, with the timing, it's a foot. Just one of those things, you know, that's been happening this year to the Pods. And in the, let's see, it says bottom of the eighth now, but we'll see. We'll refresh it. The Diamondbacks with a 3-0 lead over the Dodgers, which is pretty awesome because then the Padres won't lose any ground. And that's important, obviously, this time of year. They won't lose any ground in the division chase. In the division chase, not in the, obviously what I'm saying there in the wild card is a little different. But you're 2.5 back, so if the Dodgers end up losing, you're two more games in Minnesota. Look, you were up 2 going into the Dodgers series. They sweep you in LA. You're up 1 leaving the Dodgers Stadium, the Dodgers series at Petco the following weekend. When you took 2 out of 3, you're still up 1. And you just keep squandering it, man. And your starting pitching's been the culprit. Look at Yu Darvish last start. Look at J.P. Sears last start. Look at Dylan Cease pretty much almost every start. The one guy. And look, you're going to have Iglesias in the lineup for Bogaerts. You kind of have to do it at this point, right? You kind of have to do it. There's nobody else. You're going to have to do it. He's not going to put Arraez at second. He's not going to do any of that stuff. So you're going to have Iglesias as your shortstop pretty much every day as it stands right now, right? And so that's going to be what it's going to be. And you just have to fight through it and hope Bogey can come back and hope Merrill comes back, because with that full lineup, you are equipped to at least put some more runs on the board. But if your starting pitching doesn't get better, and I'm talking horrible from Dylan Cease, up and down from you, Darvish, Sears, Cortes, just bad. Vasquez, Kyle Hart, I could keep going. You're starting to feel Kolek and Bergert being gone now, right? But you got Nick Pivetta going tomorrow. He's 13-4. He's 8-2 after Padres lost. The team's 10-3 in those starts that he made following an L. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounced back. Hopefully that'll be the case tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day away, and we are at a first pitch of 4:10 tomorrow, and I'll be here right after with the postcast. Before we get on out of here, one more thing to do, a very short time in which to do it.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And you got some choices tonight, San Diegans. You got some choices in all y'all Padre fans outside of the city. But let me tell you this, right? Nestor Cortes was not one of them. 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Peralta and Morgan and Matsui all gave up a run. Alec Jacob, 2 1/3. Unsung hero gave him zeros, but more importantly, 8 up 2 1/3 innings, so you can save all your big guns. The Horsemen are all ready for tomorrow. They haven't pitched in 3 days. Remember that, all 5 of them. So looking at that. So your star of the day for the Padres, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs for Fernando. Gavin Sheets, 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Jose Iglesias, 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. So any of those guys, take your pick, could be your star of the game. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. That's a wrap. Doc say it's a wrap. That's a wrap. 7-4 the final. Twins beat the Padres in the opener. Dodgers down 3-0 against the D-Bags. You're hoping that holds, and you're only down 2 heading into tomorrow with Nick Pivetta on the mound looking against Taj Bradley, who's pitched for the Rays now on the Twins. Pivetta looking for win number 14, but more importantly at this point, to go 9-2, or at least have the team go 11-3 after a Padres loss. He has been the stopper this year, Nick Pivetta, and we'll be here right after that game tomorrow, 4:10 first pitch. So Padres play game 2 of 3 at Minnesota. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Love having you day in and day out. You everydayers know this. We love you. It's a big football weekend here on the network as well. So let me tell you a little bit about that on the way out the door, and a beautiful promotion we have going on right now. Another big moment in Locked On Podcast Network history. College football fans, Locked On and Fire TV. It's fire, baby. It's lit. Present College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Yeah, Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. A college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season. Only on Fire TV with the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Thank you so much for being here. And real quick, Mr. Magoo needs to manage differently, says JD's third. I just think about Mike Schilt. That just kind of hit me. Offense non-existent. Where is Manny? He's stuck on 999 hits in a Padres uniform. That's where he is. But they scored 4 tonight. You got to win the games when you score 4. I mean, looking at teams that win one-run games, which they've been real good at, and teams that win games when they score 4 or more runs and get quality starts from their pitchers, yeah, they didn't get the second part of that tonight. They haven't been getting it lately. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Thanks so much for being here, San Diego. We'll talk to you tomorrow with your Padres postcast. In the meantime, keep your game tight and your mind right. I am Grease, and I am